We get asked every day how we find a great tenant. Intelligent screening is more than just a credit score and the ability to pay. It's about the willingness of a tenant to pay rent. Learn about our methodology to reduce bad debt and financial loss for your rental property. This video focuses on how to find a great tenant, one that pays rent in full, pays rent on time, stays for a long duration, and cares for the property as if their own. I'm Lisa Hamlick, CitySearch Rental Network. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dave B. Today we're going to provide some tips on things that we do to qualify an applicant.
Hi. So the place we always start with is a credit report. It's a very good document and history of how well a tenant pays in the past. After that, we like to get some government ID just to make sure that they are who they say they are. And then we also like to talk to their employer to find out that the job they have claimed on the application is the one they have, and also the kind of money that they're reporting is what they actually make.
Do you ever see situations where they overstate the amount of Do you ever see situations where they overstate their compensation?
It doesn't happen too often, but I do like to. Self-employed is a very different thing, but when it comes to an employer where they're an employee, there's usually not too much of an issue with that. It's just a matter of confirming that they're still there. That's the biggest thing, that the information they're giving is current.
Right. Now, if they are self-employed, do you take some extra steps in terms of qualifying the quality of the applicant?
Yes, we do. So we will actually do a shareholder search to find out who owns the company, and again, compare that with the other information that they've provided. And we also run a personal credit report on that as well. And lastly, we'll ask for either a notice of assessment provided by the CRA. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the current landlord references and previous to that.
Okay, so moving on to that, those two phone calls to the current landlord and the previous landlord are really good to make. Sometimes the information provided by them differs a little bit. And then we have to ferret out and try to find out really what's going on as far as what kind of a tenant they were. But in all cases, we want to hear that they paid the rent on time, that they've kept reasonably good care of the property, and they've reported any kind of deficiencies, especially relating to water or anything that could impair the property.
Okay, and would there ever be a situation where you actually visit their current place that they're living?
There is, and it usually relates to when they have a pet on the application. Sometimes owners are reluctant to have a pet, and it's often a matter of need. If a property ends up being vacant a little more often than not, they tend to be somewhat more receptive. In any case, they like to find out if the pet that the tenant has is actually damaging or not damaging the property that they're living in. So I'll go to that place, check the yard out, make sure that there's not a lot of dead grass, and if there is, note it. And carpets as well, to make sure there's no stains on the carpets where the pet's living.
I'm sure you look at baseboards and doors. And
we do. They can chew on that too.
Hardwood floors is another area to look at.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a situation where the applicant has reported having a small, cute, well-behaved dog, and in reality it's a large dog or much larger than stated on the application?
Usually there's not too much of a discrepancy, but it's really important to get fairly close on that, because condominiums have certain requirements in their bylaws where standards have to be met. And if they are not, they can issue a fine to the owner. So the tenant is actually responsible, but the owner gets the fine.
And I completely understand understating weight, because I think I might have understated my weight on my recent driver's license application, but
that's another.
I'm working on. That's a work in progress. Anyways, hope today we've provided some tips and thoughts about how to qualify an applicant, because it's really important in the long run to secure a great tenant to look after your property. If you're self-managed and you'd like some guidance and some assistance,
we're here to help.
Please reach out at any time. info@citysearchcalgary.com. Have a great day.